Hello everyone, Ajon here, another Couple Heroes 2 replay. Spawn on the north side, or southwest side as the Austere player. We have High Five. Spawn on the right side as the USF player. And also the person who's submitted in this replay, we have Pioneer. Looks like he immediately locked in some airborne doctrine. This map is quite wide open, so it'd be a good map for both LMG paratroopers as well as Pathfinder, so it's a relatively good choice. So he will probably have to eye for pushing for the munitions rather than for fuel, because very heavy doctrine for munitions. You definitely want to get some bars and Pathfinders. The LMGs and paratroopers are quite expensive as well, and the rockets, plus the weapon drops. So if you want to make maximum usage production, you may want to eye for munitions. Austere players will also want to eye for munitions. Potentially other doctrine, mechanized. The Grenadier LMG half-track comes out a bit too late. If it was 1 CP, it probably might be a much better, and perhaps the fuel cost reduced. I think it costs like 30, which is way too much. If it was like 10 or 15, I would say that would be a good amount. But I really don't see that doctrine being all too great. We do got also mechanized assault. Do not see assault grenadiers being all too effective, but cheap Stogies, potentially. And Lightning War. Lightning War is most likely, it's reliable. G43s, Tiger Tank, close air support, even relief infantry can be quite good. Tactical movement can be decent as well, but you generally just want to save up munitions for close air support. Personally, if I were to change tactical movement, I would say it enables the passive sprint and perhaps buff the global sprint, as in click the actual ability tactical sprint. Right now, the non-global sprint is attached to the ambush camouflage, which I don't really see the all good comparison to that. But there's a lot of things I would personally change in the live game myself. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that everybody would like to change. But we do have the rifleman in arc, but not in vision range. Ooh, he's getting really close to inside the arc. It's highly, and the vision range actually extends to this tree. Like, there we go, definitely suppressed. You will not be able to walk out of that. Retreating as soon as possible is the best course of action. Echelon on the flank, but will be outgunned by the Grenadiers. Even if they run to this heavy cover, they spend too much time moving and shooting. The Grenadiers should have just stood there and shot. Rear Echelon, they need some reworking, I would say. There's a lot of stuff I would say I would like to rework stuff, but either way. We do got another MG42. That's unusual to say at least. It will definitely warrant either a pack howitzer or a mobile mortar, because two MGs can really lock down the map, though he does lack infantry. There's a nice flank right here. He's just skirting the edge of the arc. He does have quite a bit of a long traverse time as well, so this MG will be forced back, but there is reinforcements right here. Could have picked off some models for some bleed, but I think not to get surprised is probably a better idea. So probably a good choice of movement. There's also, this is a cutoff point, so he did cut off everything over here. So no fuel, no munitions, as well as no two neutral points. These neutral points are basically half of either fuel or munitions, but both. So really, these neutral points may not seem like much, but they really do add up. People underestimate them all the time. Grenadier inside this building, very nice, but we'll be receiving fire from two rifleman squads. He's actually hitting, Lieutenant here. Lieutenant could actually just stop capturing Dobby on the heavy cover, but now he's being focus fired. This window is still in range as well, so he will be hitting those riflemen. These rifle grenadiers will be forced out. There's just way too much firepower from the USF squads. But we do have two reinforcing squads here. So you're trying to hold on to this building in order to get the reinforcing squad in. There we go. One squad in. You don't need two squads. Two squads, there's not enough windows for two squads. There's not even enough windows for really one squad at that side. But jumping into the side is actually probably a good idea. So maybe I'm a bit wrong with the point of jumping both of them in there, but because I didn't realize it's going to jump out. And Pioneer's a fallback. Pioneer's a follow back. And that's most likely a dead squad. Dead squad. I remember watching a quick typo video about what squads should chase down moving infantry, while LMG grants probably shouldn't because the LMG cannot fire. But if pretty much any other case, you should chase down the squads, just not with guards or LMG grins, and that's it. To always chase down the retreating squad if you want to inflict damage. You got a rifle grenade coming out. That is a flanking shot, and that's a wipe.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
A very nasty rifle grenade. It's also partially blocked by this hedge. If you don't have the highlight mode, I'm not sure what that's called, selected, you may not even realize that he's actually firing a rifle grenade. And that was a flanking shot, meaning the heavy cover would not apply. And losing that rifleman squad is very problematic since his opponent went for heavy and MGs. He needs to have maintained any infantry control. In general, losing a rifleman squad is quite detrimental. We do got the M20 utility carrier. He can pop out, throw a Faust. In fact, that's probably what we should do. Pop out, Faust, and retreat. Because there's a good chance he'll be chased down and wiped. Good movement right there. Did not try to chase. Actually cut off, intercepted. He just tried to stood there and shoot, but he was getting out of range. And does wipe out the squad. This squad, however, can be wiped. He is not reinforcing it. That squad, I don't blame the USF player for not wiping it. That's with caster vision, but he could easily wipe at that moment. For low health, now he's fully reinforced, and probably a good idea just to withdraw, but does pick off both of those low health models. Very, very nice. Lieutenant and Rifleman now pushing on forward. Decides to hold up his manpower. He has enough manpower for a paratrooper. He did go for Lieutenant, so the AT gun may be another good possibility. AT gun is pretty cheap on manpower. Actually, Stuart, another good option. Going heavy in light vehicles, and this may do some good work. MG42, nothing supported. Very low health. Does get ripped apart by the M20. And dead. Very, very good. You can go ahead and quickly flank this other MG. Do have a PaK-40 on the field. That's a good thing to see. PaK-40, he's stalling for the PaK-40 to get in position, but he set up in a bad arc just to A moved it forward. Does roll an unlucky miss as well. He probably could withstand a single shot right now, but that's cutting it pretty close. He's actually trying to eye for the wipe. Removing that veterancy is actually quite nice. And there's the Faust. Does go ahead and Panzerfaust it. PaK-40 is not set up, was not retasked. And he lost vision. And we do have an aircraft flying over. It is a AT gun that was called in, not paratroopers. But we do have the Stuart now moving on forward. Looks like rear echelon eyeing... No, not eyeing the repair. And the PaK-40 does connect. Funny thing is, I don't think that was actually a shot on the M20. I think that was a missed shot on the MG42 because he does not have prioritized fire. That may have been just an unlucky missed shot. I will probably need to restart the replay in order to see the fog of war at that point. But that may have been just a lucky miss. If that's the proper way to say that. Maybe unlucky for the US player or lucky for the austere player. Depends who you're rooting for. But still. He may lose another Pioneer squad. He can't be losing Pioneer squads like that. Down Pioneer squad. Negative cover there. Just spelled death for the Pioneer. MG42, he still has the PaK-40 for AT purposes, and there is incendiary rounds available for the MG42. Well, I was going to say not exactly super effective against Stuart, but could be hit against the scout car or the utility car, but that's dead. It will generally have to be hitting the rear armor of the Stuart in order to get any real damage. It'll get some sporadic damage, but nothing to really worth the munitions cost. He has to be hitting the rear armor. Riflemen do hit that PaK-40, was in a good position. Received a fire shot by the PaK-40 right there. MG42 versus MG42, but most likely will go in favor of the Austere one, because currently he's firing against the AT gun, which he's eyeing to destroy to decrew that AT gun to allow his Stuart to move on forward. Looks like rear echelon could... Nope, looks like it's just going to repair up. MG42 is in the reinforcement zone of the infantry company, the tier 1 structure. Does suppress the rifleman squad there, but does keep cut off all the resources from that area. So far, this area is largely under control of the USF player. He is in great standing with fuel. The Austere player has quite a bit of fuel saved up. He does have Battle Phase 1, but not Battle Phase 2. After researching Battle Phase 2, he will have not enough for a Ostwind or Stug. He may want... He saw the aircraft fly over before, so his opponent may know that he's fighting against airborne. Like, highly likely. Now the second aircraft is flown over. He may not realize it just yet, but he most likely does have a situation where he can realize it. Not sure what to call that. Yeah, butchering up words. In other words, the doctrine is exposed, but nothing is flashy as, say, airborne on the field to let him know that that he chose an airborne doctrine. If he realizes that there's airborne doctrine, he may want to go for Ostwind rather than a Stug or a Panzer IV in order for anti-aircraft capability, because he has to deal with the rocket strafe, and having anti-aircraft capability is a good way to help lock down that ability. We got two Grenadiers pushing on forward. Rifleman squad here is outgunned. Stuart is strafing around, does pitch in a couple good shots, but not a whole lot of damage at the moment. Paratroopers inside this building are being upgraded with the M1919s, so we'll see some LMGs. Grenadiers behind the heavy cover, but we'll have trouble versus the paratroopers. On a per model basis, paratroopers do have higher damage than riflemen with the carbines. And the additional man, of course, will help as well. And there may go another Pioneer squad. Nope, looks like he manages to escape on out of there, eyeing to rush down these Panzer Grenadiers. Does get one model there. PaK-49 in the area, MG42 not even reinforced. And there goes the Panzer Grenadier. He's lost. The Austrian player has lost too many units. And decides to go ahead and surrender. A very short, but very expertly played replay by the USF player. And it's Aegon saying thank you for watching and signing off.